Welcome to Boy Time Podcast. We're gonna get litty time, yeah. Oh, it's your Boy Time Podcast. Coming in with the slam dunk of a theme song.
Hi ho ho, it's me, John Barenthal, back at it again with a new episode of the Boy Time Podcast. And as always, I'm joined by Babby and Paul.
Oh,
Yes, very good. Paul's back.
yes.
Last week we had some scheduling issues, so we're back on schedule. Paul's back in the podcast seat for quite a slam dunk episode. We have
Ooh.
nothing really. There's a few things. There wasn't any like big journalism thingies like a Star Wars celebration or an E3 that we're gonna have to be going over, but we've gotten some sprinklings of news that we can talk about. I guess first things first, we always start with gaming, so we can jump right into the gaming.
Gaming.
Miyazaki from Software did a little interview. I don't remember for what publication, but he did do an interview. Main thing to take away is that there is an unannounced From Software game that is in the final stages of development. So that's pretty cool. Probably going to be getting a new From Software game in the next couple of years. So that's pretty fun. And I think another thing that was important in it is that he said there's going to be continued support for Elden Ring. I know there's been talks of DLC and stuff, but my guess is whenever Sony does their state of play, it's probably going to be there, since it's, I think Elden Ring is a Sony thing. Not that it's, oh wait, no, it was Xbox, wasn't it?
I think it was. Yeah.
Okay, so never mind. It'll probably just be announced randomly. And the unannounced game is probably Bloodborne 2. You've all seen it coming, considering how much PlayStation loves porting Bloodborne over to PC. It's a no-brainer to make Bloodborne 2. But I think this unannounced game is not one that he's working on. He was the guy who made Elden Ring. He said he's still directing games, and he's currently at work on a new one. Whether that's a new Dark Souls or what, I don't know. But nice to see that he's still in the chair. So, yeah, that was pretty much it for gaming this week. It wasn't a whole lot of stuff. So we can move on. I guess show news has the most. I don't remember if I broke this on the podcast before, but there is another Game of Thrones sequel show getting made. That is the Jon Snow sequel show. This one, I believe Kit Harington has been the one that's really pushing for it to be made. Kit Harington played Jon Snow in Game of Thrones, and now he's getting his own spin-off show. And I wasn't really interested in it at first, but now we've got the news that George R.R. Martin is involved. So now I might watch it. I don't know if he's involved in this new House of Dragons show that's coming out in August. But yeah, I don't know. I don't really trust any Game of Thrones show that doesn't have him involved in it. Because just how the last two seasons of Game of Thrones turned out, where they were just a boat without a rudder. It was just kind of stuck and stalling, and it was the worst. It's probably the biggest flop I've ever seen, and I'm a Star Wars fan. So, yeah, I know. A pretty funny joke I just said. But speaking of Star Wars stuff, we have a little bit of news to talk about. We got some Taika Waititi news. I love Taika Waititi. He's probably one of my favorite guys in the industry right now. He's going to be directing some episodes of The Mandalorian Season 3. I think that's great. Considering that his Star Wars movie is the next Star Wars movie to be made, it'll be good for him to get some experience. Because, I mean, The Mandalorian doesn't use like a lot of green screen. They use digital sets, which is, I mean, I would highly recommend looking at some behind the scenes stuff for The Mandalorian because it's pretty cool. So like they aren't actually going to like Tunisia like they did for like the original trilogy, or I guess the prequels too. But they're like going to like a set, and then there's like a big like curved screen that like looks like a desert. So then when they shoot, it like actually looks like it. I don't know how it works, but I know that it looks really good in the show. And if that's how they're going to be making movies going forward, then I think it's probably different from everything that Taika's ever done before. Considering, well, I don't know how they did the gay pirate show, but I assume they didn't actually go on a boat. That was probably just a big set with green screens. So it'll be a little different. So good to be getting them some experience in how Star Wars does things. And then I need to talk about Kenobi very briefly. The limited series that is has Kathleen Kennedy second guessing, calling it a limited series. It's finally over. It was 6 episodes long, and there's been a lot of discussion about the television program. I believe I talked about it after the first 2 episodes dropped. I was pretty positive of the show. It was an interesting place for the character to be in, and it is one of my favorite characters. I love Obi-Wan in the Clone Wars, and in his very short appearance in Rebels, and you know he is the best part of the prequels, but that's really not saying a whole lot. So I was interested in the show, and now that it's over, I think for the most part it was actually pretty good. Season 4 was a little bit of a misstep. I think a lot of people can agree with that. That one was where they were breaking Leia out of the big castle where all the Inquisitors live. And there was a lot of like slapstick shenanigans and kind of cliche, heist stuff. But I actually think the finale was really good. Like they had this long scene where Obi-Wan and Vader fought, and there was some really cool moments. It was, and I was worried about that specifically because Obi-Wan and Vader, they fight in episode 4, and obviously when George Lucas was making the first Star Wars movie, he had no idea that this was going to be a thing. Famously, during the premiere of the movie, where it was one of the most successful debuts ever, but he was on vacation with Steven Spielberg, and they were writing Raiders of the Lost Ark. So he didn't even think that it would be successful enough to show up to his own premiere. He was too busy working on the next thing. But there are lines in episode 4, like Vader says, when I last met you, I was but the learner, but now I am the master. It doesn't make a whole lot of sense if they, fought before, in between Revenge of the Sith and A New Hope. But I think they kind of did a good job with that. There was like this long conversation where Obi-Wan like strikes like half of Vader's mask off, and Vader says stuff like he's like, I'm like, it's not your fault that that Anakin fell, like I killed him pretty much. And so then that's when the whole thing with, I guess that's how they're retconning that, or how they're setting up that retcon where, Obi-Wan said that Darth Vader killed Luke's father in A New Hope. That was before George Lucas knew that Darth Vader was Luke's father. So, they had to kind of retcon that. Even in episode 6, where he's like, from a certain point of view, Darth Vader did kill Anakin Skywalker, but it was a roundabout way. I was like, okay, that was a weird lie to tell his son, but that's okay. So yeah, I was very impressed. I think the fight choreography was done very well. Um, I think a lot of people were talking about Hayden Christensen's performance, but I don't really see why. He was in the Vader suit the whole time, and they were just using James Earl Jones' voice. Or there was some controversy with that because I think they were using like audio deep fakes of James Earl Jones, which is a little bit weird. I mean, obviously James Earl Jones can't do the voice forever. He's 90. I want to say 92. Because I just looked it up the other day. No, he's 91. So, they have to kind of have like a contingency plan for when he does eventually pass away. So I get it. I don't love it. I would rather that they just don't do anything with Vader if James Earl Jones is not going to be a part of it. But I also know that I'm pretty sure that this has been the most successful debut of at least a Star Wars show. I don't know if it's of a Disney Plus show, period. So I know Kathleen Kennedy's seeing dollar signs. She's already thrown around the idea of a season 2, which doesn't make sense. If they call it a limited series, they should have left it as a limited series. This is a really great self-contained story, I think. Making it a season 2 doesn't make a whole lot of sense. There's not a place for this story to go. I mean, already I think it was a little bit like there was like no stakes because the main MacGuffin is like, we have to rescue Leia. And it's like, we know Leia's going to be fine because she's in the rest of the Star Wars saga. Or it's like there's this battle between Obi-Wan and Vader. We know that neither of them are going to be seriously injured because they're in the rest of the show or the rest of the saga, whatever. So it's like some of that like kind of takes away the stakes of it, which is why something like The Mandalorian is always going to be a little bit more interesting because The Mandalorian is a standalone character. A lot of the characters in The Mandalorian are standalone new characters, like even Baby Yoda. I know that's like the big marketing thing, but we really don't know where his story is gonna go. We don't know. He could die in like 2 episodes, which I think would be really cool. That would be a nice twist. But I know that's never going to happen. I think Baby Yoda has merch armor. I think that.
Very true.
Yeah. As long as they're gonna be continuing to make Baby Yoda merch, I think he's safe. Which is a little annoying, but whatever. Maybe Taika Waititi will take a risk. I doubt that. But I would recommend Kenobi if you haven't seen it. You probably have if you're interested in it. So there you go. Ewan McGregor does a pretty good job. He was mostly just playing a depressed guy for most of the show, so does a pretty good job of playing a washed up has-been. So there we go. That's about it for show news. In terms of movie news, I have nothing, but I know I don't have a whole lot this week, but I do want to talk about this little project that I'm doing because Babby's doing his post-rock thing. He's talking about all these new bands he's listening to, and I want to do something similar in terms of like how artful the creation is, and I want to like do a long kind of series of movies that I think are very good, and I'm going to be watching a whole lot of new movies. So the first one I did was The Fast and the Furious. Very good
Very
movie.
critically acclaimed series.
Yes. I just watched the first film. I will probably watch Too Fast, Too Furious tomorrow, and I will continue to watch them this week. I have the DVDs for 2, 4, 5, and 3 is on HBO Max. So I'll manage. But I just watched the first one. The critically acclaimed hit film The Fast and the Furious from 2001. And I do kind of want to talk about it because it is a cultural moment. You know, I think when this movie came out, it was a thing. And it was such a thing that they've made 10, soon to be 11 films spawning from this one film. And the movie is a pretty standard heist undercover cop movie about Paul Walker infiltrating a street racing syndicate, but Vin Diesel is also stealing VHS equipment from semis to sell to a Chinese guy and his gang. I don't know. It really is a dumb movie. I was a little bit worried because I set out to do this thing where I watch all the Fast and the Furious movies, and I talked to Babby a little bit about it, and he was saying how like the first couple are actually pretty good, and I did not like this first one at all. So
They're good entertainment. They're not good movies, objectively.
no, I don't know.
Me, growing up, I was a car guy. So
Okay.
I'm like, yeah, I like watching cars race, and I like racing cars in video games.
I could see that, but I'm not a car guy.
No.
Frankly, I couldn't tell you a Honda from a Hyundai, if you could believe it. I actually think that Super Fast was a better film than The Fast and the Furious.
Super Fast is a classic.
Super Fast is great.
Super Fast is better than like 99% of Fast and Furious movies.
I'm surprised that like I hardly ever hear people talk about Super Fast,
Yeah.
but it's pretty
It's
good.
great. It's
Yeah,
great.
I would highly recommend Super Fast, the parody of the Fast and the Furious movies, up to like number 5 because
Yeah,
The Rock's
they mentioned
character.
The Rock in it.
Yeah, and it's just like the guy always has baby oil on him.
Yeah, they just dump a whole bottle of baby oil on him every time he's on.
Yeah.
That's great.
It's a great film.
Mm-hmm.
So I'd recommend that. I don't know if I would recommend The Fast and the Furious. I guess if you're into cars, then you might like it. But Too Fast, Too Furious. I've been looking at Letterboxd lists of all of the Fast and the Furious movies ranked, and these are all the artsy people ranking them. And Too Fast, Too Furious is always towards the bottom, which I think is rather odd. What is it about this movie that isn't good? Is it
I
because
don't even remember that movie.
is Vin Diesel even in it? Because he isn't on the cover.
I don't remember even watching the second one.
Okay.
I remember the first one and then Tokyo Drift and then the other two.
Okay. That's interesting. Apparently he is in it, but he is not on the cover of the movie.
That's weird.
Okay, so I'll watch that. I'll report back. But yeah, I don't know. First impressions on the series is that I don't know how this became a thing. Like, I don't know. I guess I don't know where the cultural mindset was in 2001. But like the thing that played before it was like Universal Classics, The Mummy, and The Fast and the Furious. I'm like, oh, okay. I can see where we're at now.
Yeah, exactly.
Not bashing on The Mummy because I love Brendan Fraser, but maybe The Mummy with Tom Cruise. I'll bash on that one. But
Yeah.
yeah, I don't know. I don't get it. I'm just waiting for them to start talking about family and stuff because they haven't really done that yet.
Yeah, that'll start in a couple movies.
I'm
Yeah,
excited
you'll
for
see,
that.
You'll see the development of how weird this series gets.
I want to see it like just get
Eventually,
super
yeah.
cliche and stuff.
Yeah, you're at peak racing right now. That's just going to continue to decline, and Fed stuff's just going to continue to increase. So
I don't really care at all about like the cop stuff. I was just
Yeah.
interested in seeing the cars go fast.
yeah, exactly.
That was the
That's what I
best
liked
part of the
about it.
movie.
The races are pretty fun.
Yeah, I like the part. It's Ludacris, right? Who's in the
Ludacris
first
is
one?
there. Yeah, he's in all of them.
Oh, okay, good. But I love the part where like he feels up this chick, and then the chick's like, "If you win or lose, you get me, but if you win, then you get her too." And then there's this other
Oh,
hot
yeah.
chick on the sidelines, and he's like, "Oh yeah, I gotta win this race." And then he goes up against Paul Walker, and then Paul Walker like zooms past him, and then it's just like a close up of him going, "No!" I'm like, "Oh, that's so awesome."
It's good stuff.
And then there's another twist when he gets out of his car at the end. Then he's like, he like goes up to the first chick and she's like, "You lost." And he was like, "No." He goes, "No" again. Like, this is the dumbest movie I've ever seen.
One of the most popular franchises
Yeah,
in recent memory.
it is probably one of the best movies I've ever seen.
Yeah.
But oh no, it wasn't Ludacris. It was Ja Rule.
Oh, Ja Rule's in the first one?
Yeah.
That's interesting.
Who?
Ludacris is in all of them, though. I don't know if he was in the first one.
don't-
But he's in a majority of them.
I don't think he was in the first one. It was Ja Rule.
That's
Which,
That's
fun
very
fact
2001.
about Ja Rule, he co-did the Firefest.
yes.
Isn't that fun? So we went from making the Fast and the Furious to making a nice music festival.
Yeah.
On
Ja Rule makes a lot of sense in 2001, but I'm sure they dropped him very swiftly after that. So
Yeah, I'm sure they dropped him right after the whole Firefest fiasco.
that was like the last.
He's not in Too Fast, Too Furious. Ludacris is in Too Fast, Too Furious.
Yeah, I think they swapped him out for Ludacris.
That's a good pick.
Well, Ja Rule was kind of falling off at that point, I think.
Yeah, I don't know.
And now he's a meme. So
I don't know anything about Ja Rule except for the Firefest thing. And he was very disappointed he didn't get to have sex with a lady.
yeah.
But that's all the news I have. The only other thing is music related, and Babby's probably going to talk about it. If he
Sure.
knows what's good for him.
Yeah. I feel like my journey is different because I'm looking at like incredibly difficult long form art, and you're watching the Fast and the Furious movies and trying not to like give up.
I'm like committed. That's the
Yeah.
thing. Like like a lot of my family
man.
members who have seen them are like, "Why are you watching all of them? Like only watch the first one and then stop." I'm like, "No, I'm gonna watch
Like-
all of them."
Like I get a great satisfaction once something finally clicks, and you're just gonna be diving deeper and deeper into this, and it's just gonna get worse and worse.
Well, I'm interested because
Okay.
these are like the highest grossing movies. Like whenever they come out, they do gangbusters here and in China. And I have to understand, what is it about these movies that people love? Because it isn't the writing.
Vin Diesel.
Vin Diesel. I don't think people like Vin Diesel.
I don't.
Oh.
He's not a
Some
very good
people really
actor.
do. Some people really do.
Vin Diesel's best role was as a talking tree where he says the same thing over and over
That's
again.
true. He did kind of kill that.
Yeah. And the best thing he ever did was have a Facebook Live and then forget about it and then put the phone in his pocket for a long time during
And
the
that one interview where he keeps like talking to interviewers like, "You're
Oh,
so beautiful." How can I
yeah,
answer
where
that
he
question?"
sexually harasses a Brazilian
Yeah,
reporter,
for like 20 minutes.
even though he's married and has
Yeah.
kids.
Yeah.
It's like, "Well, I thought we were in Beauty World." It's the worst interview I've ever seen.
Yeah,
But it is
it's pretty bad.
fun. It is fun to watch. It's very cringy.
Yes.
So I'm excited for when The Rock comes into the franchise. I do love The Rock. I don't know anybody who hates The Rock. I think it's impossible to hate him, frankly. And
I
if you
love The
do,
Rock.
then you can stop listening to this podcast.
Yeah. We don't want you here.
No.
Yeah.
The
Okay.
best. Okay, talk about music now.
Talking about music now. We'll start with Lil Nas X. We'll start
Oh,
with
okay.
that. Lil Nas X, one young boy. better.
That actually was not what I was going to talk about.
Oh, that's wild.
I know.
Okay.
He doesn't know what's better for him.
I guess not.
He changed the
But late
cover.
to the party. He did change the cover. I just saw that. Okay. I hope he just like rotates these out since there's like a million covers for this.
I'm actually pro this cover change. This is the one I wanted.
Yeah, I do like the globe. I was a fan of the globe one too, but this one's kind of cool. I like that. But yeah, he dropped this song. There was teasing for like 3 weeks, I think.
Yeah.
But it's pretty good. It bangs. It's fun. It's quirky, even.
It's very fun. It's a good music video too. If you
Yeah, the
haven't
music
seen it.
video is really good.
It's
I
probably
really like the music.
it's like it took the baton from New Light and
Really ran with it.
yeah, really ran with it.
Yeah, I like how we went from super high quality production music videos to this one. It feels like it fits.
I like these a little more.
Yeah, and I feel like they did that because it's like, okay, young boy's on house arrest. How do we like
Oh, is he?
link these people up? So it's like, let's just do this really bad music video so we can put a green screen like in the same room with each other.
That's probably it.
But yeah, it's fun. Lil Nas X still has that thing where he just kills the choruses. Super
Yes.
catchy. This is he's continuing to be a very nice like pop rap mainstream artist. I really enjoy his stuff still.
I do too.
It hasn't gotten stale at all, which is a very good thing.
No, I keep switching it up.
Yeah, he's
Yeah.
killing it. But that was pretty sick. What were you gonna talk about? I feel like
Nav.
oh yeah, Nav is coming back. Sorry for the mic peaking, everybody. That was very enthusiastic.
I'm very excited.
Nav is coming back. He's dropping a song or an album on July 29th. He hasn't said anything. He just said July 29th. But it's been, we've had Kendrick come back. And that felt like a moment. But Nav coming back is a special occasion.
That's right.
This is the GOAT
Of
we're
course.
talking about here.
Yes.
The world stopped when he sent that tweet.
Yes.
Especially with he's kind of disappeared a little bit. So this is a comeback for him.
It's been too long.
It has been way too long. I think 2020 was the
years.
last time he dropped. That's way too long.
It's been 2 years. He dropped 2 albums in
He
2020.
did drop 2 albums. Technically 3 if you consider Brown Boy 2 to be a separate album. Since
and
the
I
Deluxe
don't.
is an entire new album. So
Okay.
technically 3 albums. But yeah,
it's
he's coming back.
Brown Boy 2 Deluxe is actually a triple album, if you can believe it.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
That's probably why he took 2 years off.
Probably, yeah.
Okay,
But then
probably burnt
so he made that, and then he did another
Yeah.
album though, and then he disappeared. So
Yeah, that's crazy.
good for him.
But yeah, he's coming back. Very exciting. I feel like we need this. The world needs this. I'm excited
Yes.
to hear the evolution in Nav's artistry, since he is the leading trap artist, I would say.
Yeah,
out of
probably.
anybody right now. So, album of the year contender, possibly. I wonder if he's gonna challenge Drake to like a dance rap album off.
I
They
hope
could
so.
both have dance albums, like which one puts you to sleep faster challenge.
I don't know.
That could
This-
be fun.
He did drop a single. I'm not gonna listen to it, but
Yeah, I want to be fresh. When this
oh
album comes.
wait, no, this is not a single. This is a Vori song featuring Nav and Young Blue.
Oh, okay.
So
Interesting. Okay, I guess he has had a feature this year then.
okay, good for him.
Other than that, I'd like to see a Nav dance record. I think him and Drake competing for the best dance record could be very funny.
Yeah, are we just not gonna talk about Beyonce or
Oh no, that's what I was talking about next.
okay?
Beyonce's back too. Beyonce brought Nav out of hiding. Beyonce's back. I forgot what the song was called. Let me look it up.
I believe it's called Beach House.
Yeah, Beach House. No, Break My Soul is the title, and it's a dance song. Everybody, that's crazy. Drake just dropped the dance album the week before, and now Beyonce dropped a dance song.
That's too crazy.
This is infinitely better than anything off of Drake's album.
Well, obviously.
I think the song's pretty good. I don't think it lives up to like her other like leading singles of her other records, but maybe it'll get there with time. Just because like Formation and stuff like that is like those are classics. Um, I feel like this one doesn't have that power that the other two have, or the other ones that she usually does has. But I mean, pretty good. I think Renaissance is the album that's coming off of, and I think that's coming out the week before NAV. I think the 22nd.
Oh, she's shooting herself in the foot.
I want them to directly compete with each other.
This could be interesting.
I think it's the 22nd. It might be the 29th. Who knows? But it seems like she's doing multiple acts, so that could be cool.
Is it going to be a movie like Lemonade was?
I don't know. I like that she kind of pushes the envelope with stuff like that because Lemonade's pretty cool. But yeah, I'm excited to see what she does. I don't know if this is going to be a whole dance project or if she's going to mix it up a little bit. I don't know why dance has become the craze all of a sudden.
I don't know. Frankly, I'm not here for it. I don't like dance music.
I can get down with some dance music, but like it's not gonna be something I'm gonna seek out actively. But I mean, the song sounded pretty good, so we'll see what comes from her. But for now, it's looking pretty good on her end. Let's talk about Gorillas.
Oh.
We are not on Twitch, so I can say this. Cracker Island featuring Thundercat.
Whoa.
Can't see that.
Sorry, I hard-R'd it.
Which?
You did hard R it.
I think I have a pass. I think I'm good.
How many passes do you have left?
Not many. But yeah, this is I think this is their first song off of whatever they're doing next. I don't know if they're doing like a Song Machine Volume 2 type thing or what they're doing. But the song's pretty sick. Has a kind of like electro kind of dancey intro, and then Thundercat comes in with like this amazing bass line. It just goes into this groove fest.
That sounds good to me.
It's pretty sick. And the name Cracker Island just makes it 20 times better.
Unless you're on Twitch.
Yeah, unless you're on Twitch, then it's C-Word Island. But I think this is a pretty sick song. Gorillaz have been killing it recently with the collaborations. And anything with Thundercat on it is gonna bang. So
That's true. That is true.
So check that one out. Pretty sick. What else we got? Soccer Mommy, we have a reaction to that one coming out sometime this week.
Yes. Short answer was pretty good.
Yeah, short answer is I really mess with it.
Yeah.
Pretty sick. But you'll hear expanded thoughts and feelings and view our facial reaction later this week.
Yeah.
The last new release this week that I listened to, Lupe Fiasco's back. Drill Music in Zion is this album. Admittedly, I haven't gotten into Lupe a lot, so I might have to do a discography dive on him eventually. Knowing that he is in that realm of incredibly dense, lyrical, conceptual hip-hop, which is kind of my lane. So I'm going to have to go back and kind of get through his stuff. People are saying this is his most like easily accessible one in a while. But I love the sonic palette here. It's very warm. There's a lot of brass in it. I love rappers that do that kind of Mos Def style where they incorporate that singing element into it and like that kind of tone. That's always that soulful element I really like. But he is definitely one where you got to give it multiple listens because there is incredible wordplay and lyricism across all of it. I picked up on some of it on my first listen here, but I'm gonna have to like really get into that to really pick everything out of it. But I don't know. I really love the way this just sounds in general without getting into like lyrical content. I'm loving the palette here. There's a lot of brass. There's a lot of like reminds me of like a Makami Mos Def type thing where the beats are kind of just laid back and chill, and then they can kind of do their thing over it, which is always a plus. It's like incredibly dense hip hop that you can put on in the background if you want to, if you don't want to read into everything about it. But I like how meta he gets. He's very introspective and personal in a lot of songs. It feels like he's like talking directly to the listener, which is always cool. I like that kind of style. Yeah, but he mixes this like high concept like biblical crap with like references of like anime and stuff. Um, so just like really all around with references.
Really
Yeah,
has God and anime on his side.
he
That's
does have
true.
God and anime on his side. But yeah, it's a tight 40 minutes, easy listen. I'm loving it so far. But I'll have to give it more listens, obviously. But good job there. I don't know when Joey Badass is coming out. He hasn't rescheduled his stuff yet, so still waiting on that one.
I don't know.
And Jid's getting close, I think. He keeps teasing.
Yeah.
I don't like it.
You've
Just
been
drop it.
talking about him forever, about
Yeah.
this new thing he's dropping.
Yep. Still not here yet.
No.
Coward. It'll be great when it comes out, I'm sure.
Probably.
I
Yeah.
think he did like a freestyle a week ago, so he knows. I don't know. I hope that's out before the summer ends. I can't take any more. It's been too long.
Yeah. That's okay.
I think Muna dropped their self-titled this week. I did not listen to it yet. I saw Muna open for Phoebe Bridgers, and they were
Oh.
pretty good.
I thought you said Luna. I'm like, you're gonna
No,
listen
not
to the Luna thing?
No,
Okay.
no.
Okay.
I will do my K-pop arc eventually, but not now.
Okay.
I'm in
But
when
yeah.
you do K-pop.
Okay,
Just hit me up.
let's go. But yeah, Muna dropped their self-titled. I'll probably give that a listen sometime this week. But I like them when they open for Phoebe. They got a lot of energy. Kind of got that synth pop, indie rock type thing going on.
I like that.
It's kind of sick. But yeah, kind of like Mitski-esque and that kind of thing. So I'm interested in that. I just haven't gotten to it yet because that's a lot of music to take in. And we do this podcast on Saturdays and the music comes out on Friday. So
Yeah.
there's a lot
It's a little
to
tricky.
squeeze in there. Apparently Weezer dropped something this week too.
What? Weezer?
They dropped it on Tuesday. Okay, little summer EP it looks like.
Oh.
Interesting. I I don't know about that.
There's a song called Cuomoville.
Rivers Cuomo is my favorite person. That's great.
Yeah.
But I
Oh.
do have a lot of catching up on my deep dive stuff. We haven't talked about it in a couple weeks because either
Oh.
there've been really big weeks or I haven't had enough listening to like even talk about things.
Yeah.
But I've done 3, technically 4 Swans albums since the last time we talked about this journey thing. I kept listening to The Glowing Man. Still really like that record. I'm putting it on the same level as The Seer right now, but like I feel like The Seer's a little bit better. But Glowing Man's easier to listen to. So that's a very like it's more post-rocky. All of the songs are extremely long, but there's nothing like too overly disturbing or incredibly loud about them. So I'm really liking the album for that. And then the title track just being like this insane, constant barrage of like quiet and loud, instead of like doing gradual 8-minute transition or 8-minute crescendos like Bring the Sun. It's like the song is quiet and then just a barrage of sound and then quiet and then bam. It's just like getting bombs dropped on you constantly. It is an experience, but I think this record is very, very satisfying. It's less about like the primal nature of it or the disturbing nature of it, more about the floating aspect of what their music can do and how like fluid it can get. So Glowing Man, amazing. This whole trilogy is kind of insane on how consistently good all 3 records are. I did not listen to 2019's Leaving Meaning yet. I'm going to wait on that for a little bit. Trying to get the big hits right now. After that, I took a step back. I went to The Great Annihilator because people said that's their most straightforward. And yeah, this felt like a breeze after everything else I've listened to by them. This probably would have been a good jumping off point, but I went into their most difficult record first. So that's my fault, I guess. But yeah, this thing's pretty sick. With these records, we get Jarbo in the group, who's a female vocalist. She's on Soundtracks for the Blind. She's on this one, and then the other one I listened to. I think she left the group once they disbanded after Soundtrack for the Blind, because I haven't really heard her since in the new stuff. But you know, I thought like having a female vocalist would be like, oh, there's a nice little like femininity aspect to it, but she is more vicious than Michael Gira, and that's saying something. She is mean. Like, wow. I know there's a couple songs on Soundtracks for the Blind where she does that, and it is like terrifying. This record, she does it too. I always pictured like a female vocalist doing more like, you know, nice melodies and stuff, but no, it's just brutal. But her voice is fantastic for it. But this record is really great. The mixing is so different in the older stuff just because of like time, I guess. You can't really like have as clear of mixing back then, I don't think, as you could with these new ones. So it's like a different element to it. But Great Annihilator is pretty great. Straightforward Swans, still got the repetition, still got those heavy guitars. The drumming goes crazy on this record as well. As you go through, like, you could make a bingo thing for this group, just for song titles. Like, just put like son, mother, blood, child, all these words, and then you can just put them in a random order, and then that's a new Swan song. Because there's literally like this kind of stuff on every single record of theirs. There's at least one mention of the sun on like every single record. So a lot of the lyrical themes are just like they tackle them at different angles, but it's a lot of just like the same kind of thing. But I don't know if I can pick out any tracks that are like really stand out from this thing. I think I Am the Sun, Mother Father, Mind Body Light Sound. These ones are like really heavy. Where Does a Body End's pretty chilling. The Great Annihilator is great, and then the I Am the Sun live is pretty sick. Apparently Swans are known for just blasting out their speakers at live shows to the point where like venues don't want to book them because they're too loud. um, which I can see after listening to many of their albums. But they tried to attempt to record it for this one, and by the end of the song, when they really get going, it's just blasted out. Like you can't even tell what's happening. I would like to go to a Swan show, but you'd have to wear earplugs and probably earmuffs over the top of that. You will have hearing damage. I think I watched part of a documentary they did for this year, and they just watched them, like, film them doing sound checks. And he's like, keep turning the speakers up, keep going. I need it like 10 times louder than it is right now. I'm like, you are gonna kill someone one of these days. That seems like an experience that is like once in a lifetime to view that. But yeah, Great Annihilator is pretty good. Nothing like too standout from it, but it's all of it is consistently really great. A very good entry point, and one that's a lot easier to get through with it being an hour instead of 2.5 hours or 2 hours. But yeah, after I did that, I went back even further. Children of God, 1987. I chose this one because the cover is a little wacky.
Oh.
A little kooky. I don't know what that is, but it looks cool. This album is like a religiously based one, if you can't tell. Except I think it takes religion at a cynical level and like the sins of like the Catholic organization and all that kind of stuff. So it's very raw and disturbed and like it's something. This is more on the disturbing end of Swans again, but they added like more orchestral elements here. Jarbo makes a lot of appearances again. I think there's a lot more variation in this record than there is in The Great Annihilator, which is cool. I like hearing like different string sections and stuff from them. It's cool. But yeah, a lot of this record is like, I think there's one song where it's literally like there's like a 6-minute song that ends or something. I think it's Beautiful Child. Yeah, I think it's Beautiful Child. So this other song ends and there's a little bit of a fade out to it. And then there's the next song starts and it just starts with like a gunshot. And the whole beat is built off of gunshots. I'm like, oh, that's cool. But I literally jumped when I heard that because I was not expecting that. And they mixed it so loud. But this record's definitely a ride. Not the easiest listen, but a lot of the instrumentation here is really, really great. I need to listen to this more. But even in 1987, just doing this kind of innovation, and it's definitely still Swans, even though it's a different iteration of them. I thought that was really, really great. And then I went back to Soundtracks for the Blind. I've been trying to listen to this once a week. This is just the biggest behemoth of a record. It's impossible to get through. It's 2.5 hours, and there's no backbone to it. It's literally like a movie score for a movie that doesn't exist. So there's different like scenes sprawled everywhere, and there's no real like start or end to it. It's just this gigantic like art exhibit that you have to walk around to at random points. That being said, I'm starting to be able to pick out different songs now, and a lot of the songs are masterfully like arranged and written. Again, having 2 intros on a record because it's so long is nuts. But yeah, it's still like the most unique musical experience someone can probably have with this thing. It's just you have to literally fight through it to get to that point. Because I think it's impossible for someone to come into this group and listen to this song, like this record, and not like enjoy it the first time because there's too much. There's too much everything there. Like 2.5 hours is literally like the Batman,
Yeah.
and there's nothing to look at. You're just stuck in this soundscape area. But once you fight through it again and again and again, it starts hitting, and then it gets better and better and better. But yeah, it's the most unique experience I've had with a record for sure. Not the most transcendent or anything of a Swans record. I think "To Be Kind" is the perfect amount of just bashing you over the head for 2 hours and this weird hypnotic, like thunderous mix of everything. Just like a perfect record. This one's really close. I don't want to give it 100 yet because it hasn't hit that for me. All my hundreds have to do something special to get there. This one's close. I have it at 99. It's close. It's gonna happen. I just need to wait for it to get there so it fully deserves that.
Okay.
Yeah. 2.5 hours. We'll get there. But yeah, I'm trying not to listen to White Light from the Mouth of Infinity because I have it on my wheel and I'd like to react to it on camera. So I'm saving that one. I've heard one song. This is their neo folk album.
Neo folk.
Yeah. So
Okay.
that's why I wanted to save that one because I'm like, Jerry, this will be the most listenable for him and still get the Swans experience. But at the same time, it's like I want to have a Swans reaction video out there because these records do things.
I do like folk.
Yeah, it's like Father John Misty levels of Doomer, but crank the knob up.
Yeah, that's what I figured.
So, but that album cover is perfect.
It's very
That's
nice.
so good. That's a really cool cover.
Yeah.
And then Love of Life came after it, and you just see that as the cover. Like, that is crazy.
Oh yeah, the
It's
deluxe.
just- Yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty epic.
Yeah, that's just a demented cover right there. But yeah, this band is insane. You really have to go through like an initiation with this group to like it's like a cult. Like once you understand their go around and you get the idea, then like you're there. But like getting into it is the hardest thing I've ever had to do is to be able to get this music.
Yeah.
But it's incredibly rewarding in return. So I'm just loving the stuff. Continuing to listen to them more and more, and they keep growing on me as I do it. But yeah, really fantastic stuff. I don't know where I'm going next. I know Filth is considered a pretty good record. That's their debut. I know it's also very different. But I don't know. Other than that, it's like Cop and Greed and Holy Money and stuff, which are like decent. but nothing like too great. But I don't know. We're nearing the end. I think they're gonna have another record out eventually too. So I
Probably.
think there was rumors of next year. So we'll see if that ever happens. 'Cause that'd be cool. I'm down. I like when I discover groups and then new stuff comes out.
Yeah, that's
always
always
the best.
nice. It was like Casey Musgraves, but the worst case scenario.
Yeah. It was cool for about 20 minutes. And it was like, dang it.
Yeah.
Now I feel pain. But I think that is everything I listened to. I think did I talk about Duster last time? I don't remember.
I don't remember.
I thought I would have, but I listened to Duster Stratosphere. That's a very good, very very good, like relaxing, kind of ambient alt. I don't know what even to classify this as. I guess I can look up the genre real quick, so I'm not mislabeling them.
Probably dusty.
Probably dusty. Slowcore, lo-fi, space rock. That makes sense.
Okay.
Yeah, it's definitely lo-fi. You can definitely tell that, but I don't know. This is a nice background music record again, or Fall Asleep 2 record. I've done that a couple times, so
Okay.
very good. I know they have a couple other ones that are kind of like highly rated too, so I'd be interested. It's like they get into shoegaze a little bit, which this record has a little bit of shoegazy stuff on it.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's what I'm doing next for genre deep dives after I'm done with Swans.
Shoegaze?
I need some shoegaze.
What is shoegaze?
I think the closest thing you would know is Time and Place. That had a lot of shoegaze stuff to it, where it's like a million guitar pedals and like a lot of reverb and stuff.
Oh, okay.
So like very, very reverby, loud guitar noise stuff. But that's a genre I'd like to get into because I've liked everything I've heard from the genre so far.
Okay.
But
Sounds interesting.
yeah, I don't know. I think that's everything then. My playlist is a mess. I need to make a new one, so I might be forgetting something, but I feel like I'm not.
Yeah.
Yeah, we have Summer Songs Part 1 out now on the channel, or out tomorrow if you're listening to this on YouTube.
That's right.
And then we'll be filming Part 2, and that'll be out the following week. So
Sounds
stay tuned
good.
for that stuff.
Yeah. I still need, I think we've gotten one or two suggestions.
I've got a couple, yeah. Yeah.
But I'm glad that they kind of slowed down because our playlist was already an
Yes.
hour and a half. So
Yeah, and we did a lot of the long songs on the first part, so the second part's a lot shorter songs, but there's a lot more of them. So
okay. Well, that should
we
be
knocked
fine.
out. We knocked out a lot of the long stuff,
Yeah.
which was all fantastic. So
Yeah. I
not
don't know
to-
if there was a bad song that we listened
no,
to.
there really
frankly.
wasn't. I'm gonna have to, especially that D'Angelo record. I'm gonna have to get into that one.
Yeah, I'm surprised you haven't listened to that one already.
Yeah, I do got to get into that. I just listened to Voodoo again this week, and I forgot how just amazing that record is. So yeah, that's a perfect record right there. Is Voodoo.
I don't know how I've never been able to get into that because I love
gotta
like the
click.
groove stuff.
It's gotta click because the groove is just incredibly good.
I don't understand it. It
It'll
seems like it should be one of the things that I love because I love like 90s R&B, or this is 2000, but I love R&B and I love like the funk. I love the groove, and I don't know
Yep.
why this has never clicked. Because
It's definitely a harder record just because it's more like stretched out. It's not
yeah,
commercially sound, I guess.
that is true.
It's also kind of subtle. Like the way he manufactures just the buildup of the tracks is very subtle.
Yeah,
But
I don't know. I'll
I
have
don't
to listen to it again sometime.
Yeah, it's incredible. But yeah, that's all I got. Don't need to waste any more time. I don't think. I think that's everything.
Okay. Well then, yeah, this is a shorter podcast. We didn't even hit an hour.
Well,
Nice.
I know. It's crazy.
Insane.
I'm trying to think if we have anything anticipating, like if there's any events. I don't think there's anything that I know of. There was a Nintendo Xenoblade Chronicle 3 Direct. I'm not even... I don't care. Frankly, I don't know. Actually, I was about to say I don't know who cares about that, but when they made the store page go live for that game, it broke the store because so many people were trying to get to it. So apparently it's just us that don't care about this game, but I can't imagine a game that I least like to play. It's probably Xenoblade Chronicles, any of them. So they had a direct of that. Some people have said that Nintendo likes to do these like deep dive ones before they do a regular direct in the summer. I think last year they had one specifically for, oh, I don't remember, people were posting it. It was like one of the Pokemons, I think. It was like they had the
They just did
Pokemon,
Pokemons.
the Pokemon Diamond. It was the remake direct. They had that like a couple weeks before their actual direct, so that people weren't going to be like, where was this? This should have had more time. So then they get the ones that are going to be annoying fan bases out of the way, and then they get their real direct like a couple
That
weeks
is
later. Which, of all of the business moves that Nintendo makes, that's probably one of the smartest, because they are not known for making good moves. So there might be a direct sometime soon. I don't know. If there is, I'll probably watch it and be disappointed by 60% of it. But, you know, who knows? I thought it was going to be on June 15th. I don't remember where I saw that, but then that turned out to be fake. So
That's what I saw too, so I don't know.
we were both lied to. I have no idea. So keep you posted on that. Aside from that, I don't think there's anything coming up. Like, I might go see that Buzz Lightyear movie this week, but I don't know. I've heard very mixed things about it. So who knows? I might not even see it. I might just wait to see it on Disney Plus or something. So, yeah. So I guess I'll go watch Too Fast, Too Furious now.
Do that.
I'm very excited. I hate Vin Diesel, and if he's not a main character in this one, it's going to make me pretty happy.
It won't stay like that long.
Oh, yeah, probably not. But, I'm doing an interview on the red carpet for Avengers Infinity War. Yes, it was a very good time playing Groot in the film.
I am Groot.
It was a very good time.
You are very attractive.
The Russo brothers are truly a masterclass of directing and writing. You know, I learned a lot from them on set, and I think it's really important.
I love not being a real character, so nobody was taller than me.
You know, they need to make the pacifier too.
Oh yeah.
I'm waiting for that one. What else has Vin Diesel been in? Besides Guardians of the Galaxy, Too Fast, Too Furious, and The Pacifier.
I don't know.
Oh yeah, he was in Triple X, The Chronicles of
Oh yeah,
Riddick.
that one. Yeah.
Okay, yeah. I want to see that movie too. He's apparently in Avatar 2.
That's epic.
That's awesome. Okay, I'm going to put my phone in my pocket now. Okay, bye-bye.